They're all dying. The blast damaged the ventilation system.
Step away from that cage. Now.
Run! Run!
The blast damaged the ventilation system. We did everything we could. I can open the gates from here.
Claire, be careful. We're not on an island anymore. Claire, you press that button, there's no going back.
We can't let them die. Do you have kids?
Our goal is total animal liberation.
We want total animal liberation.
Yeah! Animal liberation! What?
Hold on. This isn't some species that was obliterated by deforestation or the building of a dam. Dinosaurs had their shot. And nature selected them for extinction.
Well, with rights come responsibilities.
An extinct animal that's brought back to life has no rights. It exists because we made it. We patented it. We own it.
And nature selected them for extinction.
Even if we gave animals rights, they'd end up in animal prison right away for assaulting and killing people or each other, not paying taxes, and for fucking and shitting all over the shitty fucking place. Life isn't Disney bullshit where lions, pigs, and meerkats hang out together and sing songs.
But these are aggressive living things that have no idea what century they're in, and they'll defend themselves violently if necessary.
What are we supposed to do? We have about 100 or so animals in here.
And nature selected them for extinction.
Shall we turn them all out into the street, including the aggressive ones? What do we do with them then? Then do they go bite everyone and then it's our fault again?
Bullshit!
No, that's not right. No, we wouldn't do that.
I had to.
I don't know.
You guys are fucking retards!
This is Nazi.
Bullshit!
They're alive. Like me.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me. He's denying you.
Systems have
change that are beneficial to all sentient beings and to the environment.
Life isn't Disney bullshit.
Listen, if there's one thing the history of evolution has taught us, it's that life will not be contained. Life breaks free, it expands to new territories, and it crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously, but, well, there it is.
The dinosaurs are breeding.
But my grandpa said all the dinosaurs were girls.
Amphibian DNA.
What about the lysine contingency? We could put that into effect.
What's that?
Dr. Wu inserted a gene that creates a single faulty enzyme in protein metabolism. The animals can't manufacture the amino acid lysine. Unless they're completely supplied with lysine by us, they slip into a coma and die.
I figured out how the animals survive without lysine.
I don't care.
If you look at the diets of the herbivore species that are thriving, they eat mostly agama beans, soy, anything lysine rich. And the carnivores, well, they eat the herbivores.
Were those claw marks always there? Then what's the problem?
It's in the cage. It's in there with you.
Hello?
I had to. They're alive. Like me. I had to. They're alive. Like me.
Check the cargo hold! There may be crew down there!
Everybody off the boat!
No, get away from that!
Now you're John Hammond.
I had to. They're alive. Like me.
How many times do you have to see the evidence?
How are you planning to beat security?
Oh, I've got an 18-minute window. 18 minutes and your company catches up on 10 years of research.
child.
I think I should tell you guys. Hammond told me these people might show up. I thought we'd be finished by the time they got started, but in case they weren't, he did send a backup plan.
What backup plan?
Me?
No, honey, no.
Hang on, this is gonna be bad.
Then we're stuck here, ladies and gentlemen, and stuck together, thanks to you people.
He didn't make it.
I'll tell you. And the survivors are now in mortal danger. I need you to send rescue immediately.
Take the cargo home! There may be crew down there! Everybody off the boat! No, get away from there!
When we brought the baby to the trailer, it came. There's no reason to think it won't do the same thing here.
When the adult sees that it's us, once again with his baby, isn't it gonna be like you?
Tell your wife to stop making that noise. That is a very, very bad idea.
Amanda?
What's a bad idea?
What are you doing?
I was photographing the nest.
After eggs.
This is happening! With or without you. I'm on your side.
To guide your fortune into the future. I have done that. Damn you!
Hey, buddy. You think what I'm thinking?
press that button, there is no going back.
I had to. They're alive. Like me.
How many times do you have to see the evidence?
Tell me this door's on manual.
Manual, yes, but Joe, we are starting to breach.
I'm right here. As soon as they're through, I'll seal it. Sandra, honey, can you hear me? I'm at the door. Sandra? Sandra, I'm waiting for you. I'm at the checkpoint, but you have to run, honey. You have to run as fast as you can.
Kenji, we need to go.
Nani, muichido.
Close the door. Seal the corridor. The whole city will be exposed.
Sandra?
Joe, can you hear me?
Yes.
Are you there?
Sandra, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Joe, it's too late. We're not gonna make it.
No, don't say that. Don't you say that. Run as hard as you can, honey.
Joe, you have to close the door. You have to live. For a son. Go! Seal the door! Now! 5 seconds! 4 seconds!
I believe there's a hero in all of us that keeps us honest, gives us strength, makes us noble, and finally allows us to die with pride, even though sometimes we have to be steady and give up the thing we want the most, even our dreams.
I had to. They're alive. Like me.
What is Maisie? How do I dare to attack a little girl's innocence and compassion? Oh please! Where was her compassion towards the people that died at the end of the film thanks to her, and the many others' innocents that will die or get violently injured in the next one? Let's be objective. Maisie is as real as my voice. She's not a real little girl, she is just one of many other obnoxious characters created for this movie that work like avatars for these two lazy, overprivileged, uncreative, mediocre, brain-dead, woke fuckers, that was specifically designed to act like a shield against the audience's criticism. Because they know that not many would dare to call out the action of a little girl that just condemned humanity because she is not happy of being a clone, as if she was mistreated for such reason or something. She wasn't even aware of that until near the ending of the movie. Sharing an origin through cloning was enough for Maisie to feel identified and take side with these killing machines, which are not longer portrayed as animals, despite having nothing else in common with them and the fact that they attempted to eat her just one scene ago. That ideology of having to automatically connect and stand with someone or something just for sharing one trait in common, like the color of the skin, the age, the gender, the orientation, the diet, the religious or political views, or an origin, is what permeates today's entertainment. From the filmmaker's perspective, Maisie was specially designed to gain the audience's sympathy. She is a kid, she is female, she supports the LGBTQXYZ TV+ community, and that is it. As if the audience were as superficial as they are, to judge others based on the same superficial reasons, instead of doing it based on what they do. The action and decisions they take and how those affect others. Especially in movies that are entirely composed by actions and every one of them counts. Heroes are defined by their actions and not by their powers. After all, villains are not considered heroes and they also have powers. Not all protagonists have to be heroes, but the screenwriters clearly wanted Maisie to be perceived as one. We know they support her action because the music in the scene tells us that what she just did was heroic despite being the action of a villain. Music in movies is the most powerful tool that filmmakers use to tell the audience how are they supposed to react and feel about the actions presented in the screen, and they can completely mold their meaning by changing some notes. As it is in that scene, the music tells us that releasing the dinosaurs on the mainland was an act of heroism and the right thing to do, according to them, even when that was the last thing that John Hammond would have wanted to happen and actively fought to prevent in the original films. And he was never chased by a dinosaur nor saw anyone dying in front of him, he just had common sense. The sole purpose of that scene, the whole purpose of this filler movie was to bring dinosaurs to the city so the studios can have their, not Godzilla, monster on loose cinematic universe, where somehow people have no weapons to defend themselves and there is no army anywhere to help anymore. And also to be able to sell more merchandising for the next 2 decades. And later have crossovers with other franchises like Transformers, The Fast, and the Furious, and Ninja Turtles once the interest of the audience is completely exhausted. They completely ignore that Jurassic Park was a worldwide success, a pillar of cinema that still connects with the audience to this date, thanks to its realism that made everyone believe that what we saw on the screen could really happen in our real world. Realism, and not science fiction fantasy filled with big explosions and acrobatic schlock, with fake-looking mythological creatures that act like anything but real animals, that inhabit in a video game environment along one-dimensional cartoonish sitcom characters. It's sad and frustrating to see how many better stories by many other creators that were publicly embraced, are being labeled as invalid fan fiction as they are tossed to the garbage to be replaced with these new mediocre ones that are labeled as the official canon. It is especially sad to see how many real artists with real talent are living in the streets of Hollywood, struggling for decades, seeking their dream of one opportunity to tell fresh stories, which is often denied because they don't have enough experience in the film field. While these jerks with the same level of experience or less, get paid fortunes to destroy with their ineptitude this long-loved properties that they never liked and never cared for. Just because some greedy idiot met them at a celebrity party and decided to give them these properties in a silver platter, because they shared the same political views, because they are the friend of a friend, the offspring of someone famous, or just because they like the same football team. Anyone could have come with a better story to follow up the original movies, even people that has no knowledge about filmmaking, like our neighbor or our grandma, could have come with realistic and more credible ideas. Just ask them. From a screenwriter's perspective, if having a movie with dinosaurs running in a city was the main goal, it would have been more reasonable to have Jurassic World been built on mainland by a rival genetic company. Things go as usually and they escape. But they wanted to bank every penny on nostalgia and decided to build it on the island of the first movie instead. Which is utterly stupid for many narrative reasons. After the first movie of this second trilogy surpassed the box office expectations, thanks in part to that exploited nostalgia, the studios rehired these writers to come with an excuse to bring the dinosaurs to the continent. So in order to not have to think much, they pulled out a gigantic volcano, that was never there, right out of their asses. Now with dinosaurs right where they wanted them, the most obvious, most logical, most sensible and therefore better solution to set them loose in the city, was to make the character of King Buffalo Bill be the one that releases them as an act of revenge after his arm was mutilated by one of them. Everyone knows that, even my grandma. After all, he was presented as the main villain of this story. But these twats couldn't resist to put their fashionable ideology in the script in order to win more of the Hollywood's VIP circle's sympathy. Or maybe they are really that stupid. Saving the life of creatures that have no place in the modern ecosystems or preserving the life of many innocent people, including kids and other animals, is not Sophie's choice, and only a psychopath would choose the dinosaurs over us. Maisie saw very well what they can do and she willingly left them loose. Oh, but Nick and Sarah were animal experts and they intentionally released the dinosaurs in the Lost World. They were redeemed. Why Maisie can't? Let's put aside the fact that all those dinosaurs they released were herbivores, unlike the herbivores and carnivores mix, carefully hidden by the gas in the Fallen Kingdom scene in order to make easier for the audience to side with Maisie. And the fact that the carnivores that ate people were always free and attacked them because the herbivores they released destroy their technology to defend themselves and call for rescue. The most important difference between them and Maisie is the enormous fact that they released them only because they were still on the island. Their secret mission was to avoid them to get to mainland, precisely to avoid what the villains were doing in this movie again, and Maisie only made it a lot worse. If the protagonists died on the island, their deaths will be nothing compared to the number of people that could die on mainland. The Tyrannosaurus Rex in the Lost World escaped to the city only because Peter Ludlow gave the order to check if there were human survivors in the cargo hold of the ship. He never intended the Rex to escape and he immediately regretted his mistake. He even gave a small help to Ian and Sarah to lure it back to the ship, and he was presented as a villain. But those were characters written by talented writers to act and sound like real people, unlike the cartoon ones in the second trilogy. This is not nitpicking, this is screenwriting, the basics of screenwriting taught on every school that tells us that every action, every detail, every word someone intentionally puts on a page counts and has its consequences. It is called the rule of setup and payoff. At least in good scripts, they do. But we know that unlike all the other characters in the previous movies that were responsible for the death of other people by letting the dinosaurs escape, they won't make Maisie get what she deserves because of the excuse of, she is just a little girl. No, you asses. She is you too. You created her. You cannot make us feel guilty for hating her. She is not redeemable and you wouldn't have the obligation to punish her if you would had used your monkey brain at your maximum potential to write the story well. And kept your ideologies that contradict the original movies out of the picture. She is the direct responsible for every death we will see in Dominion. The kill count is on, and I hope she gets eaten before you dare to kill any of the original characters you brought back to keep milking the nostalgia out of the audience you disrespect and hate. But that's going against Hollywood's newfound ritual of killing the heroic past in order to ensure the prevalence of the hypocritical woke present, that the worldwide audience is already sick of. The proof is in the numbers.
What's the word I'm looking ideology is more important than art.
Way more, certainly to the awards.
Yeah. And it's just, it's like, ideology trumps art. Ideology trumps individual effort. Ideology trumps good. Ideology trumps entertaining.
Activist groups have mobilized around the globe in what has become the flashpoint animal rights issue of our time.
There's two kinds of movies, virtue signalers.
What's his name? Delta. And she's a girl.
Female strength, female power.
Hold on tight!
I like saying woman inherits the earth. I really like that. I'm coming with you. We don't know what kind of condition she might be in.
Miss, things could get hairy out there.
These are powerful sedatives. One too many and she could have respiratory failure. Also, I'm not as soft and witless as your comment implies.
You gotta stop letting your mom shop for you.
You don't need to insult me every time someone pisses you off.
Dude, I'm a doctor, not a telemarketer.
First, I wanted to apologize to the fans that I did not anatomically match the Faye Valentine character.
What is your job again? You plug in chords, right?
It's actually more important than it sounds.
Just, you know.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have kids? Okay, so your kids. An entire generation has grown up in a world where dinosaurs are living and breathing.
We have a generation in America that doesn't know evil. They've never suffered. They don't know Nazism. They don't know communism. They don't know torture. They don't know death camps. So they're so naive that they believe that the real evil is done to animals.
But soon they're gonna have to watch them go extinct. Or not. If people like you make a difference.
Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg.
I have one more thing to say to them. Remember this. Rights movements never go away. They always get stronger. They always attract more people. And there is no point whatsoever in wasting your time fighting them, because we will grow and we will win.
Bullshit!
Great. Yes!
Yeah, I know why we're here. Rescue U.B.S. Save the dinosaurs from an island that's about to explode. What could go wrong?
I'm going.
Don't.
I don't have a choice.
What? Of course you have a choice.
So what, I should just build my own cabin, play pool, and drink beer all day while these dinosaurs go extinct?
Yeah.
And nature selected them for extinction.
Come on, you're a better man than you think you are.
You should write fortune cookies.
Damn it!
And superhero movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you bullish on the future of movies? Because
well, look, you have to always look at.
Are we going to get back to that place?
Look, this happened. This comes in waves. This absolutely comes in waves.
Welcome to the Medici family circus, where we believe no wild animals shall be held in captivity.
Then you had the 50s, which was the first of the completely homogenized decades, where you couldn't say shit if you had a mouthful, all right? And every bestseller, every play that was turned into a movie, if there was anything sexual about it or anything, that's all going to be drained out of the movie. It's going to be weaned out of the movie. It's just the way it is. And then, to me, it's one of the worst decades in Hollywood is the 50s. And then the 60s, pretty much from like 1960 to 1966, was the 50s part 2. Right. But then what we think of as the 60s starts in about 67, and that's when New Hollywood
Bonnie
comes
and
out.
Clyde.
And that's an absolute positive response to the homogenized 50s.
So it's going to come back again.
Okay, and then it goes into the 70s, but then went into the 80s.
All right.
And that's why you came up with Politically Incorrect, because that was the first, this is basically 80s part 2, what we're living through right now.
Well, I'll just take one more go at it. There's going to be a new golden age. Please be there and part of it. All right. Great to see you again.
If you can't stand the meat, get out of the kitchen. Just don't blow the kitchen up because you don't like my lunch. How's that chicken, Teller? Is he eating the chicken? Oh, Jesus.